out! Watch out!
Some hostiles enter the parking garage east of the main entrance.
If we want to get Isaac back online across the country, we need to reconnect the local system to the satellite network. We should be able to do that at the NOAA headquarters building.
Get to the control room. I can walk you through the process from there.
Got some movement there. Get the fuck back!
Hey, what is up everyone? The LDB is back at it again, coming at you today with my Acosta Big Boom build. The skills go boom, the specialization goes boom, and then all the gear pieces just push the boom through the roof. This has literally been a blast to play with lately, and I highly recommend that you try something like this out. You can pace yourself however you want. You can sit in the back, let all your skills do the damage, or you can, set your skills out and then push a little forward and do some DPS with your weapons if you want. Whatever your playstyle is, this will definitely fit it. So I hope you enjoy, and if you do, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button. Subscribe for future Division content if you are new to the channel. You can hit me up on Twitter at LDB Gaming, and feel free to drop a comment down there below. So let's get into this. Alright everyone, and here it is. So as you can see up top there, I'm going to be using the Demolitionist for the specialization because obviously it goes boom. And it makes a big boom at that. 2.7 million to be exact. I'd have to say that's pretty good. Now also when we use the Demolitionist, we're going to get that extra 10% explosive damage as well for everything else. And that's just going to push it that much farther. Now as far as the core attributes go, we're talking 0 reds, 0 blue, and 6 yellows. And the minor attributes, 0 red, 0 blue, and 15 yellows. All yellow on yellow. And again, this has been a blast. This mortar right here with the Seekers that I'm using comboed together is just so OP. It is absolutely amazing. Now our armor is 726,000, so we're pretty squishy, but if you're using cover, you should be okay. Our health 286,000 with skill tier 6. So I mean, it is what it is, guys. Let's get on to these weapons. Alright, so for my primary weapon, I'm going to be using the Surge Rifle. This one right here is hitting for 125.1k per bullet base damage. I know it's not the best by any means, but again, guys, keep in mind, we are running all yellows on this build. No reds at all, so it is what it is. Now, the RPM is really good, 380 with 50 in the mag. That's also pretty nice. Now, the core attributes, 15% rifle damage and 15% crit hit damage, and we also have 8.5 health damage down there. So overall, not too bad, but the talent is definitely what makes it. Perfect spike. Headshots grant plus 25% skill damage for 8 seconds. 25% on top of everything else we're going to be doing on this build. 25% more just for popping them in the nugget. Gotta love that right there. Now as far as the mods for this weapon, pretty straightforward. 5% crit chance optic. We have the magazine here, 20 rounds. We have the underbarrel, 5 crit chance, and we also have the muzzle, 5 crit chance as well. I'm just pushing the crit chance as much as possible and letting the crit hit damage fall where it may. I don't know if there's any other better way to really do that on a skill build like this, so I'm just pushing the chance as much as possible. Alright, so on to my secondary. It is the Grudge submachine gun. This one right here, I will have to admit, does not have the best base weapon damage by a long shot. I mean, it is what it is, but I feel like the RPM, the mag size, as well as the talent definitely makes up for it. This one here hitting for 62.5k per bullet base damage. That is terrible in anyone's book, but we do have 900 RPM with 52 in the mag, so I guess that's pretty good. Right now, as far as the attributes go, not too bad. 15 SMG damage, 15.5 crit chance, as well as 9% headshot damage, but again, the talent is where it's at. Perfect Vindictive. Killing an enemy with a status effect applied grants you and all allies within 20 meters 18% crit hit chance and 18 crit hit damage for 20 seconds. That is really nice because you're not just buffing yourself, you're buffing the team as well. So, I mean, that's always good. But also, this gives you a fighting chance when you're up close and personal with those NPCs. Basically, been using this for the short game. When they get too close to you, pull this thing out. And if you take a look at the chest piece, when we go over the chest piece, it'll make a little bit more sense. But this is going to be proccing constantly. You're going to be getting this Perfect Vindictive going all the time. And again, when those NPCs rush you, it will definitely kick in. And again, gives you a fighting chance on a build that is all yellows. That's my point being. Now, as far as the mods go, nothing crazy. 5 crit hit damage for the optic. The magazine, 20 rounds. The underbarrel, 5 crit chance, as well as the muzzle has 5 crit chance as well. So again, nothing too crazy right there. Now, as far as my sidearm goes, nothing crazy. Backup boomstick, it's all maxed out. We're hitting pretty hard with it, but it's still not doing the best at all. But if you do get to kill an NPC with it, you get that 10% armor over the next 5 seconds. So, I mean, it can work in times, you know, in certain situations, but overall, it's just kind of hanging out. So, let's get on to these gear pieces. Alright, actually, before we get into the gear pieces, I want to touch on something really quick, really quick. I know someone's going to say something about it down in the comments, so I'm just going to point it out now. If you take a look at my caches, it is flashing 2 out of 20, and that is because I have 2 exotic caches. I saved both caches from the last 2 events because I'm hoping that when TU10 comes out, I can open these and get some new exotics. The way these caches, I believe, were supposed to be designed was that they give you something that you do not have already. So I have all the exotics. I have all of them. So I'm not going to be getting anything new right now. I'm just going to get duplicates. But if I save it for TU10, I should be able to get new ones in theory, right? So if you have some of these on a second character, if you haven't opened yours yet, you're just saving it for whatever reason, hang on to it for a little bit longer, and you know, maybe we'll get a couple new exotics as soon as TU10 drops. Boom. So there it is, guys. Alright, so let's start out with the mask here. It is China Light. I have the 2-piece active giving me that 15% explosive damage as well as 10% skill haste. Gotta love that there. The core attribute plus 1 skill tier, and the attributes down here 10% status effect and 12% skill haste with an 11.1% skill haste mod. Now, I left that status effect on there because, for one, I do use this mask with another build, but also because the artillery turret does give you the bleed effect. So right there, if the explosion does not take them down, the bleed afterwards surely will. So that's definitely a nice thing right there, as well as when you are facing the heavies, the tanks, any way you can make that bleed take a little bit heavier is definitely a good thing. Alright, so for my chest piece, it is Wyvern. We get that plus 10% skill damage just for wearing it. Gotta love that. We also get that plus 1 skill tier. And the attributes, oh boy. I've said in previous videos that, you know, Wyvern is like the bane of my existence on this game. Anytime I need a piece of Wyvern, I cringe. And, you know, it is what it is. I kinda got sorta lucky a little bit, I think, maybe. I don't know. I got a little bit of skill haste on there. I was cool with that. I maxed out the skill damage, and then I put 11.4 skill haste for the mod. I mean, overall, you know, it is what it is. I'm sure you could do better, but the talent is what I was looking for. Trauma. And this is what I was talking about with Vindictive on that SMG. Applies blind to an enemy hit in the head, cooldown 30 seconds. Applies bleed to an enemy hit in the chest, cooldown 30 seconds. So, you know, if you take an NPC down that is blinded, you get that extra crit hit chance and damage from the SMG. Same thing if you bleed them out, as well as if they're bleeding from the artillery turret. If they didn't take them down all the way and they're bleeding out off to the side, you run up with this, boom, extra crit hit chance and damage for you and your team. Overall, this chest piece really works out nice, as well as it slows down the NPCs on top of everything. If they're blind, they're not going to be coming at you or shooting you very accurate, at least, right? And if they're bleeding, then typically they're going to try and go and get cover. So overall, I've been loving this chest piece, and I definitely recommend trying it out. Alright, so for the holster, it is Hannah U. We have the 2-piece active giving us that 10% skill haste and 10% skill damage. So, gotta love that right there. Another +1 skill tier. We have the maxed out skill haste and skill damage. So, overall, pretty straightforward on that. Now, going on to the knee pads, they are also China Light. We have that +1 skill tier, 9.9 status effect, and 9.7 skill damage. I don't have a max skill damage roll, but I figured that 9.9 status effect could just be left alone. So either way, it's been working out pretty nice. Alright, so for the gloves, they are Hannah U. We have that again, +1 skill tier, as well as 11.7 skill haste, not too bad, and another 10% skill damage. You know, pretty straightforward on that, not too bad. Now, the backpack here, this is where it's at. I absolutely love this backpack. The more I use it, the more I enjoy it. It is what it is. You have that +1 skill tier, 10.9 skill haste, 8.4 skill damage with 10.8 skill haste mod on there. And you have the talents 1 in hand. Throwing a grenade refunds it and grants +1 skill tier for 15 seconds. Grant overcharge if already at skill tier 6, which I am. The cooldown is 60 seconds. 2 in the bag also gives you +1 armor kit, +3 grenades, 25% ammo capacity, 10% repair skills, and 10% status effect. So again, you're pushing all kinds of different stuff with this backpack. I absolutely love it, and when we can up that to an overcharge just by throwing a grenade, oh boy, absolutely love it, absolutely love it. Try this out. It's not even the best backpack, but you know what? It's been working out amazing for this build. Alright, so let's take a look at these skills before we go off to the stat sheet for a quick little breakdown. I'm going to be using the Cluster Seeker Mines here. I absolutely love these. We're going to be throwing out 10 at a time. 10 of them. That is awesome. The cooldown, 21.5 seconds. The damage, 2.5 million. Gotta love that right there. The blast radius is only 2 meters, but I guess when you're throwing 10 of them out there at a time, you're more or less going to overlap at some point, right? Now, we're at skill tier 6, doing 60% damage and +6 cluster mines. So, I mean, right there, that is awesome. And then when we throw a grenade, we go into overcharge. Oh, and let's just take a look at the grenades up there really quick. 1.75 million. Gotta love that there. Now moving on to the artillery turret right here. This is the cream of the crop. I love it. I freaking love it. I really haven't used this before. It's a little bit goofy getting used to, you know, placing where it's going to explode at. But once you get the hang of it, it's game over for these guys. I'm telling you. And it's super fun to use. It applies the bleed status effect on affected targets. The cooldown is only 8.8 seconds. The duration, 303 seconds. So, I mean, it's going to sit there for a while. The health is 5.5 million, so good luck popping that baby. We got 3 million damage, 3.1 million damage per shot before an overcharge. We got 10 ammo. Blast radius is 6.8 meters. I mean, this is absolutely insane. We're at skill tier 6, doing 90% damage, 420% health, 50% mortar blast radius, and 6 extra mortar ammo. I mean, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. If you have not tried this, do it. You will enjoy it. Everybody likes this. I've talked to a few people that were like, oh yeah, as soon as I tried this, I fell in love with it. Me too. I'm not even a skill guy, and I freaking love this thing. It's absolutely amazing. The damage you can do is awesome, especially when you pair it with the mines at the same time, when you double bang them, and then you can rush them with the SMG or whatever you wanted. I mean, it is great. It's a great time, guys. I hope you enjoyed. And let's just go over to the stat sheet now. Alright everyone, so before we go ahead and sign off, let's just do a quick little recap breakdown here on the stat sheet. Now again, the weapon talents that I'm going to be using for my primary, Perfect Spike, on my secondary, Perfect Vindictive, on my sidearm, Preservation, and we also have some high explosive grenades to launch at NPCs. You gotta love that right there. Now as far as the weapon stats go, we're talking 125,000 per bullet weapon damage. I mean, that is terrible. Everything in this section is going to be bad because we don't have any reds, so it just makes me sad looking at it. 22% crit chance. What is that? Oh, that's terrible. 47 crit hit damage, 60 headshot damage. So aim for the face, I guess, right? We got a little bit of health damage on there. Got some good range, a little bit of reload time, accuracy, stability, so on and so forth. We have 31.4% ammo capacity on there, though. So, hey, gotta love that. That's a good thing to have. Now, as far as offense goes, this is just, oh, this is terrible. 10% all weapon damage bonus. 10%. Okay, 30% rifle damage bonus. Oh my god. But again, you don't even have to shoot your rifle really. You just sit back and launch your artillery turret and, you know, lob out your mines every once in a while. Hey, I mean, oh boy, it just hurts me to look at this. Well, we do have 25% explosive damage, so that is one plus that we can see on here. Now, as far as the gear talents go, pretty straightforward. 1 in the hand, 2 in the bag. I mean, you know, it is what it is right there. As well as trauma. Gotta love that one right here. Now, the gear brands here, looks all screwed up. I don't understand why it does this. Anytime you have Hannah U on there, it messes up. Apparently, Hannah U does not have its own logo on here. But we have a 2-piece China Light. We have the Acosta bag, 1-piece Wyvern, and then a 2-piece Hannah U. But they show up as Wyvern. I don't know what the deal is with that. They need to fix that. It drives me crazy looking at it. Either way, moving on to defense. Nothing crazy. 726 armor. We got a little bit of max health on there. A little bit of health regen. Got some pulse resistance. Hey. Whatever. Got a little bit of explosive resistance. I'm working on that hazard protection still, guys. As you can see, it's going up. And we have a little bit of burn resistance. That's always a nice thing right there. But yeah, that's about it. Then we're on to the skills, which we already kind of covered. And, you know, I hope you enjoyed, guys. And I'll catch you on the next one. And there you have it, my Acosta Big Boom build for TU 9.1. This build has some big skill damage and has been a blast to play with. Definitely try something like this out. I'm telling you, you will have a lot of fun with it. I hope you all enjoyed and found this video helpful. If you did, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button. Subscribe for future Division content if you are new to the channel. Hit me up on Twitter at LDB Gaming and feel free to drop a comment down there below. So until next time, guys, I hope you take it easy. Be safe out there. I will see you then. Later.